Yesterday, something quite funny happened to me at the supermarket. I found myself standing in front of the strawberries for what felt like a surprisingly long time. Just standing there, looking at them. Really? Just looking at strawberries? That sounds like a very serious situation, Paul. Very serious. Because they looked absolutely perfect. Bright red, fresh, almost like they were showing off. They had confidence. So, of course, I put them in my cart. And then you check the price, right? Yes. And suddenly, those beautiful strawberries turned into $12 strawberries. $12? Those must be the most confident strawberries in the entire store. Exactly. And that moment made me realize something interesting. What's that? Supermarkets are actually full of real English conversations. That's absolutely true. From asking where things are, to talking about prices, to chatting with people while waiting in line. So today, we're going to take you on a full English journey through a supermarket. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our English channel. I'm Emily, and it's truly wonderful to have you here learning English with us today. And I'm Paul. Hello, everyone. If you're listening while drinking your coffee or maybe walking to the store, we're really happy that you joined us today. On this channel, we help you practice real, everyday English through warm, natural conversations that feel like real life. So please like and subscribe if these conversations help you. It truly supports the channel and helps more learners discover this content. Today's topic is something we all do every week. We're talking about shopping at the supermarket and the English you can use in that situation. That's perfect, because I actually went to the supermarket yesterday and I realized how many small conversations happen there. Exactly. Supermarkets are full of tiny interactions, asking where things are, checking prices, chatting with people, and deciding what to cook. And sometimes forgetting something important and walking through the entire store again. That happens to me more often than I want to admit. That's very human, Paul. Today, we'll walk through a full supermarket experience together and practice natural English along the way. So, imagine this. It's a calm afternoon, the sky is bright, the air feels fresh, and you decide it's time to buy food for dinner. Yes, you pick up your reusable bag, maybe your shopping list, and head to the supermarket near your home. When the automatic doors slowly open, you hear the soft hum of refrigerators and the gentle sound of shopping carts moving across the floor. The first thing most people look for when they enter a supermarket is a shopping cart or a basket.
Right? Because carrying too many items in your arms is definitely not a good shopping strategy.
So, a simple and useful sentence you might say is, where can I find a shopping cart?
Or, if you prefer something smaller, excuse me, where are the baskets? That phrase, excuse me, is extremely important in English.
It's polite, it's friendly, and it helps you get someone's attention in a respectful way.
Let's practice together. Everyone listening, say this sentence out loud with us. Excuse me, where can I find a shopping cart?
Great. That already sounds natural and confident.
Once you have your cart, you slowly begin walking through the first aisle. And suddenly, you realize something important. You don't know where anything is.
That happens to everyone, especially in a new supermarket.
So what should you say if you're looking for something specific, like pasta? You can politely ask a staff member.
Excuse me, do you know where I can find pasta? That sentence is clear, polite, and very natural.
Another useful sentence is, I'm looking for olive oil.
So the structure is simple. I'm looking for, and then you add the item you need.
Exactly. Let's do a quick practice together. Repeat after us. I'm looking for fresh bread.
Very nice. Now let's try another one. Excuse me, do you know where I can find rice?
Perfect. These small sentences make your shopping experience much easier.
Now, let's move to one of the most colorful parts of the supermarket.
The fruit and vegetable section. Yes, bright colors everywhere. Red apples, yellow bananas, green lettuce, and sometimes strawberries that look almost too perfect to be real.
When choosing fruit, people often talk about freshness. For example, you can say, "These apples look very fresh today."
Or maybe you want to ask about the price, because sometimes things look amazing, but the price is a surprise.
A simple and useful sentence is, "How much are these apples?" Let's practice that together. How much are these apples? Nice and clear.
Now, Paul, I see you looking at those strawberries very carefully again. Yes, they look incredible. Bright red, shiny, and perfectly arranged. I think I'll take a box.
Paul, those strawberries are $12.
$12?
Yes, they're very expensive today.
Well, they looked confident.
They don't have confidence, Paul.
These ones did. They were sitting there like they knew they were special.
That might be the funniest reason I've ever heard for buying fruit, but it's also a perfect moment to learn a useful phrase. If something costs a lot, you can say, "That's a little expensive."
Exactly. For example, these strawberries are a little expensive today.
Or you can ask, "Are there any cheaper ones?"
That's a very useful question in real life.
And sometimes, while you're choosing fruit, something unexpected and pleasant happens. Yes, you might suddenly see someone you know, maybe a neighbor, someone from your street, or even a colleague from work. You look up from the apples and suddenly hear a familiar voice saying hello. And just like that, a simple shopping trip turns into a real conversation. Those little moments are actually perfect opportunities to practice English in real life. Exactly. Because learning English doesn't only happen in classrooms. It happens in supermarkets, on sidewalks, and during everyday conversations. And speaking of friendly supermarket moments, something interesting just happened. Oh, really? Yes. I think I just saw my neighbor walking down this aisle with a basket full of vegetables. That sounds like the perfect moment for a friendly conversation. Exactly. Because running into someone at the supermarket happens more often than people expect. And these conversations usually begin very simply. Nothing complicated. Just warm, friendly, small talk. For example, you might smile and say, "Oh, hello. I didn't expect to see you here today." Or something even simpler. "Hi, are you doing your weekly shopping too?" These sentences are natural and comfortable. They help conversations start without feeling awkward. So let's imagine this situation. My neighbor walks closer, recognizes me, and I'm still holding those confident strawberries. Then the conversation might begin like this. "Hello, Paul. Nice to see you here." "Hi. Nice to see you too. Are you shopping for dinner tonight?" "Yes, I am. I'm trying to decide what to cook this evening." That's a very common topic in supermarkets. People often talk about food and dinner plans because when you're standing next to vegetables and pasta, cooking becomes the natural topic. Exactly. A very useful sentence is, "What are you cooking tonight?" Let's practice together. Everyone listening, repeat after us. What are you cooking tonight? Great job. Now let's continue the conversation. So Paul, what are you planning to cook tonight? I'm thinking about making pasta with tomato sauce and maybe a small salad. That sounds delicious and also very easy to prepare. Yes, I prefer simple meals after a long day. Another useful question you might hear is, Do you have all the ingredients? That's a very important question. Ingredients are the foods you need to cook something. For example, pasta, tomatoes, garlic, olive oil. These are all ingredients. Let's practice together. Do you have all the ingredients? Nice and clear. Well, I think I have everything for dinner tonight. Are you sure? Yes. I have pasta, tomatoes, onions, salad, bread, and now let me check my shopping list again. Good idea. Pasta, tomatoes, bread, salad. Wait, what's missing? Milk. I completely forgot milk. Milk is actually a very important item in many kitchens, especially for my morning coffee. Then you definitely need to go back and get it. So you might say, I need to go back and get some milk. Exactly. That sentence sounds very natural. Let's practice together. Everyone listening, repeat after us. I need to go back and get some milk. Great job. And this moment shows something very important about language learning. What's that? Real English appears in small, everyday problems. Forgetting milk, losing your shopping list, or choosing between too many options. Exactly. These small situations create real conversations. So now, you walk quickly back to the dairy section, the refrigerators are quietly humming, and the cold air feels refreshing after walking around the store. You open the glass door and see rows of milk cartons. Whole milk, low-fat milk, almond milk, oat milk. Suddenly, there are too many choices. Another useful sentence here is, which one should I choose? Yes, supermarkets can make simple decisions surprisingly difficult. But finally, you choose one carton and carefully place it into your cart. Now your shopping mission is complete. Well, almost complete. What do you mean? You still need to pay. Ah, yes, the final step of every supermarket journey. You push your cart slowly toward the exit. The automatic doors open once again, and the fresh evening air gently welcomes you outside. The sky is slowly turning orange as the sun begins to set. You carry your bags and start walking home through the quiet streets of your neighborhood. And after a full shopping trip, people often begin thinking about something relaxing. Yes, things like weekend plans. Because everyday conversations naturally move from one topic to another. Food becomes dinner. Dinner becomes plans. And plans turn into friendly conversations. Exactly. Language flows the same way life flows. And speaking of plans, walking home with all these groceries makes me think of something. What's that? I'm starting to wonder what we should do this weekend after cooking that pasta tonight. That's the perfect moment to talk about weekend plans. You push your cart slowly toward the exit. The automatic doors open once again, and the fresh evening air gently welcomes you outside. The sky is slowly turning orange as the sun begins to set. You carry your bags and start walking home through the quiet streets of your neighborhood. And after a full shopping trip, people often begin thinking about something relaxing. Yes, things like weekend plans. Because everyday conversations naturally move from one topic to another. Food becomes dinner. Dinner becomes plans. And plans turn into friendly conversations. Exactly. Language flows the same way life flows. And speaking of plans, walking home with all these groceries makes me think of something. What's that? I'm starting to wonder what we should do this weekend after cooking that pasta tonight. That's the perfect moment to talk about weekend plans. And it also shows why these small daily conversations are so powerful. Walking home like this is one of those quiet moments when the day begins to slow down. Yes, the streets feel calm, the air feels cooler, and your shopping bags move gently in your hands as you walk. Moments like this often turn into simple conversations about life, plans, or the coming weekend. Exactly. After a long week, people love talking about what they might do on Saturday or Sunday. A very natural question is, do you have any plans for the weekend? This question appears everywhere, at work, with friends, and even while walking home from the supermarket. Let's practice it together. Everyone listening, repeat after us. Do you have any plans for the weekend? Great job. So now that you have pasta, salad, milk, and of course, those very confident strawberries, what are your weekend plans? Well, first, I'm definitely cooking that pasta tonight. After that, I think I'll relax and watch a movie. That sounds like a very peaceful evening. And tomorrow morning, I might go for a walk in the park and maybe read a book in the afternoon. That's a lovely way to spend the weekend. What about you? I might visit a local market, cook something new, and spend some time listening to music in the evening. That sounds relaxing as well. And conversations like this are actually a very important part of learning English. Yes, because these simple daily topics are what people talk about most in real life. Shopping, cooking, weekend plans, weather, and daily routines. When learners practice these topics, English slowly becomes part of their life, and that is the real goal of learning a language. Not perfect grammar, not complicated vocabulary, but comfortable, confident communication. Exactly. Even the supermarket trip we experienced today is full of useful English. You learned how to ask where things are, how to talk about prices, how to ask simple questions, how to make friendly small talk, and how to communicate politely at the cashier. All of these moments may seem small, but together they build real communication skills. And remember something very important. Every conversation you try is progress. Even if your sentences are short, even if you make small mistakes, mistakes are not problems. They are teachers. Every mistake shows that you're learning and growing. That's how language learning works. Step by step, word by word, conversation by conversation. Before we finish, let's quickly review a few useful phrases. How much are these? I'm looking for. Would you like a receipt? These are simple but powerful sentences used every day. And if you remember even one sentence from today, you are already improving your English. because progress doesn't come from big steps. It comes from small, consistent practice. One sentence today, one conversation tomorrow, and one day you will realize something amazing. English feels natural. Speaking feels comfortable. That's the moment when learning becomes confidence. Before we go, we want to say thank you for spending this time with us. Learning a language takes patience and courage, and we are truly proud of every learner who keeps going. If this lesson helped you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And we would love to hear from you. Write one simple sentence in the comments about what you usually buy at the supermarket. Maybe apples, bread, milk, or even some very confident strawberries. I think those strawberries will stay famous for a long time. Until next time, keep learning slowly, keep speaking bravely, and keep enjoying your English journey, because every word you speak brings you one step closer to confidence. Take care, everyone, and remember, your English voice matters.